we're walking him on the right side.
Right.
So we want our treat pouch and our squirt bottle to be on our left. Right? We want to make sure our treat pouch is open. I'm going to cinch up on the leash a little bit. So I'm going to do that thumb lock grip. That's how I grip a leash. So I'm going to cinch up on the leash a little bit so we don't have so much slack. So how I do this, thumb through, take maybe a quarter to a third of the leash, wrap it over that existing loop, lock it down in your hand. Okay. So I'm going to just choke up on the leash a little bit. Now, we have to create slack. Okay, so see how he's already in front of me? I'm going to start taking some steps, and when I turn to create that slack. He goes in front again. So we're starting out with our left hand turns. So this turn is all about creating slack. Good. This allows me to show him where I want him to be.
Behind you, right? Yeah.
He goes in front.
Not that go with me.
Good. So that's what that part is all about. Okay, so turning is all about, well, our left hand turn, good, it's all about creating slack to show him where we want him to get. Right?
So your right hand is kind of behind you.
Good.
A little.
Good.
Who are you?
Good. As he's progressing at this, my right hand turns are about staying and creating a boundary. So with this one, I'm turning into it. When I do this, I want to make sure that he's starting to think about where I am in relation to him.
Okay.
So this, good, is going to create what's called spatial awareness. Good. When I'm doing that, I'm rotating at my shoulder. Let's do this one again. He goes forward, my arm locks. Right, see how I keep his head with me?
Yep.
People will make errors with this because they'll do this.
That's
Right.
what I was doing.
Yep.
Exactly.
Or they'll let the dog go behind him. So I'm keeping his head connected to my body this turn. Right, and my goal of this, spatial awareness, I need him to be aware of where I'm at and be connected to my body. Good.
I know when I've been walking with him, he wants, every now and then I'll drop him a cookie. That only lasts for a second.
Right.
And he's right up in front of me trying to trick me.
But remember why. So if you're not doing anything wrong, it's just you're expecting too much power from a single technique. Right? So we want him to get the idea of going behind us again. And that's where the reward is, because he only moves forward when he's there. Right? He only gets fed when he's there. So
I see.
you need enough behavioral history to keep him there. And these turns really help box him in. Right?
Yeah.
So essentially when he starts coming up here, my body's turned into a moving boundary.
Okay.
I don't have to focus so much on my other turn anymore because he's now staying more behind me. Right? So he's right next to me or kind of slightly behind me more often than not right now. Now, I can also use this to have a greater conversation with him. So, now that he's doing those lefts, right, so, the right's when I'm turning into him, I walk my dog on the left, so I'm like,
Oh,
getting
okay.
dyslexic.
It's backwards.
Yeah, it gets a little backwards. So now that he's doing these right-hand turns and I'm taking his space, I can have a larger conversation about pulling with him as we go along here. What that conversation would look like is this. All right, so as soon as he gets in front, mark it, spray back.
You sprayed him?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And he's going to figure it out. He can avoid being sprayed by avoiding coming up here. So what's going to happen? As we're moving, I'm going to do pressure on the horn as I'm taking a step.
Pressure on the leash?
Yep.
Okay.
This is how I'm going to get him to sit in sync with me. Heel. Go. So with this, I step as I pressure. Now, he may need help. As soon as he sits, good. Bam.
You see that? See that? Those are the little things I forget.
Here's a little nuance that I like too. I want to wait for him to look at me to get moving again.
Okay.
So this way I can use movement as the positive reinforcer. Heel. Alright, so you went to chase a bird. They use that same sound. Good. Boy. Pretty cool. Heel.
Here, you take this. My back is killing me.
So see how my foot is angled upwards?
Uh-huh.
So I'm doing that so he has a visual cue. Good. He's a smart dog.
he, he learns fast.
You can build in this cue right now if you want to.
Pardon?
Watch. Yep. So now we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah. I like that. Because it's miserable walking him.
Yeah,
It
and it doesn't
is.
hurt him. I mean, it's,
No.
it's literally you're just creating a boundary with a squirt bottle.
Yeah.
Good.
There's a dog right up into the black fence across the street. I walked him this morning. Dog never barked at him. All of a sudden he realized there's a dog there.
Yeah.
And it was like, ah.
Your better corrections come from a vantage point where you're in front of him.
Uh-huh.
He's just afraid of going up in front of you now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
Good.
Because the older you get, the harder it is to, well, first of all, walk.
So what would happen here if he started going for a dog?
Uh-huh.
And we could practice this with food, right, to teach him the movement. But essentially, let's say he starts going for a dog here, I can go like this. And we're going to temporarily switch sides.
Ah,
Good.
interesting.
So I'm creating that space
Mm-hmm.
away from him. And you don't have to feed him when you do that. I would just, when I'm teaching him,
Right.
I'm hopping,
Sure.
I'm hopping too. Now once I cross the street, back, heel.
You think he's got a heel? I think he's hearing it,
Yeah.
doing it.
Good. You just got to speak in a way to dogs that matters. Okay? I'll turn around.
Excellent. Sorry, we're golfing.
Three,
Yeah.
yes, I want to train your dog, but I don't want to make you physically uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm not. It's just when he's pulling, and I want to stop that.
I was talking about your husband.
Oh, him? Okay.
It's not all about you.
Sometimes.
Hi, Phyllis.
Hi, Phyllis. Good. We're learning stuff.
Is this a training session?
Yes, it is. So he's not, you don't see me going down the street like that. Yeah.
Well, this is a big lesson too.
You're recording.
Your dogs will. This is a good lesson. Film it. Your dogs are gonna know those moments that they can get away with things. Just because you come across a person does not mean your rules go away. It means you
Okay.
enforce them more. Because
Good.
they'll look for those moments to do it. So he started trying to pull me, and I said, not a chance.
No way.
No way. That's the conversation that we had.
I'm the boss.
Yep.
Good boy. Guess I shouldn't have given him those tuna crackers. He's kind of like, oh, maybe I'm a little full, which is weird.
He's not.
The more.
One or the other, and that's a good thing.
So see when I turn into him, he does.
Good boy. Come on, smile.
He's doing pretty good.
He's doing really
Much
good.
better than this morning. Should have filmed me this morning. Yeah.
Yep. So remember, your correction is going to be the turn in front.
That's right. In front of him.
Yep.
Okay.
So when you do that correction, you're just going to turn and face, right? So like, if I was right here, I'm going to turn right into it. So he's directly
by
facing.
him sitting, is that a good thing or no?
Well, I mean, he yielded to you. You could just stay in the same direction is all. So you don't have to do you don't have to do a 180. You just want to turn into him and then go back the way you were going.
Oh, good boy. What a good boy. He likes
No, this is a good moment. So go ahead and do that automatic sit. So put a little pressure upward, straight on the leash. Nice and steady. Release. Good boy.
good.
Now, as a reward, say break, go potty, and allow him to
Break.
sniff.
Right.
So here's where just
potty.
walk him to it. Just walk him to it if he wants to. So just walk into the grass. Boy. Now here's where I would just go a little red light, green light. Okay, so give him the length of the leash. If he wants to go, then he'll go, right? But when he starts to pull you, just stop, right? So that's the difference. Red light, green light. Teach them a little bit of leash awareness. Don't pull into it. I do this when I'm allowing more free behavior. Heel is what I do in a neighborhood, right? So if he doesn't need to go to the bathroom or doesn't
I
want
don't
to,
think so.
I mean, he's focused on what we're doing, which is great. So when he looks at you, you can do a little kissy noise. Say heel,
Heel.
and then the reward is moving forward again.
Good boy. Good boy.
So nice and loose with your leash. There you go.
Now, is it all right if he's kind of going in front of me?
I would do the shh sound and turn into him. So you turn and face. Okay.